Kaelus 9 is burning. Once a proud forge world dedicated to the Emperor's sacred industry, it has become a shrine to debauchery and death. The Emperor's children have taken everything, enslaving its tech priests, defiling its manufactorums, and twisting its defences to support their perverse creed. What remains of Imperial might lies shattered in the dust. The Astra Militarum annihilated, the Adeptus Mechanicus scattered, or bent to the will of their new master. The planet belongs to the depraved sons of Fulgrim, or so they believe. But how could the heretics have defeated the impregnable defences of Kaelus 9? Either the whim of the Chaos Gods, or the unpredictable nature of the warp, plucked a battle barge containing a force of Emperor's children, complete with their daemon champions, from the 30th millennium, and catapulted them forward in time 10,000 years to materialise inside the ring of steel that surrounds the Forge world. Having bypassed Kaelus 9's significant defence systems, it was child's play to defeat any armed opposition on the planet's surface and subvert the population to their will. With the Forge world's resources at their disposal, the heretic army now threatens the collapse of the entire star sector if they are allowed to turn the machines fully over to the forces of Slaanesh. The Fighting Tigers were the only chapter able to answer the call, but the impregnable planetary defence system nearly ended their mission completely. As it stands, a lone warship, battered and crippled, has made it through the planet's defences. But are they too little too late to stop the massacre and subjugation of the planet? As far as they know, the third company of the Fighting Tigers are all that remains of the relief force. They have no gunships, no Titans, few vehicles, and no allies. But they still have their claws. Storm shields activate, power weapons hum with lethal energy. The entire company stands ready. Each warrior knows this is a one-way mission. They will not return. The only victory is the destruction of the Emperor's children's command structure, in the hope that those remaining inhabitants still loyal to the Emperor on Kaelus 9 can finish the job. The teleport sequence begins, a blinding flash of light. They will attack as a single strike team, no reinforcements, no extraction. Their only option, teleport straight into the heart of the enemy's stronghold and cut out the rot of chaos from within. The Emperor's children are not prepared for the rage of the Fighting Tigers, and when they roar, worlds burn. Welcome to the first battle preview for our next live stream, which will be on the 8th of March 2025 at 2:30 PM GMT. If you're watching this video after that date, you'll find links to our other previews and the game itself. Our previous live streams have featured skirmish games with 20 to 30 figures a side, and we wanted to do something at a much bigger scale. In this battle, we are going to pitch a force of about 100 Fighting Tigers, a full company of Space Marines, against 50 or 60 Emperor's children, plus their extensive auxiliary forces. In addition to the troops, both sides will have vehicles, off-table fire support, and the Emperor's children will also have emplaced guns and bunkers with void shields for extra firepower and defence. We are going to use the Imperial Commander rules, the mass combat system for LaserBurn, because we think we can get a resolution using this rule set in a couple of hours. But it won't be a simple slugfest between two opposing marine companies. The narrative I have just introduced will directly translate into a number of objectives for both sides. so it won't just turn into a meat grinder of simply trying to eliminate each other. We are going to play it on our 30k Forge World terrain, but with some adaptations and modifications. In addition to the existing terrain, we are expanding it with some additional pieces, and now I'll explain how these will translate into meaningful objectives. We are getting a comms tower 3D printed based on this industrial installation. Last time we used this piece, it was a power station. This time it's going to be much taller with a comms array on top. If it can be captured, the Tigers can use it to tell the Imperium command structure off-world that they have landed successfully on the planet, and in subsequent turns, if they can rescue some tech priests, they will be able to hack into the planetary defense system and open the floodgates for reinforcements. These probably won't feature in this game, but it gives a strand to end the narrative on an upbeat note for the Tigers. This will be one of their major objectives. Likewise, if the Emperor's children can secure the tower, they can use its powerful transmitter to send subliminal messages to begin subverting the surrounding star systems. This too will be a key objective, this time for the Emperor's children. They will need to keep the planetary governor alive that they've captured and brainwashed to help them succeed more effectively in this objective. We are going to use the grimdark train again in the marshalling yard. This is going to be set up as if it's the first batch of ammunition and arms that are due to be shipped to the traitor force. The Tigers are intervening just in time, but it means most of the table is ready to literally explode. We will have rules for all the crates, barrels, containers, in case they're hit by any stray rounds, or indeed, if they are targeted purposely. It means there'll be plenty of blocking terrain, but the cover that terrain gives could potentially be lethal. To give you an idea, here are the standard blast templates that we use with Imperial Commander, and these are the much bigger ones we plan to use for some serious collateral damage. Now, we'll be painting up these craters in the same colour scheme as our old 40k terrain ruins. And as the destruction ensues, we'll be replacing the existing terrain elements with ruins and craters, which will on the one hand provide hard cover for all those in the rubble, but will also slow movement down due to the difficult ground. It means that first turn is likely to be deadly, and we are expecting a huge casualty rate for both sides in the first phase of firing. We're going to look for ways to speed up the resolution process by aggregating some of our rolls. We'll also need to agree some rules for the psychic battle between the Grey Knight and the Daemon, as they don't exist in Imperial Commander or LaserBurn systems. Another key objective for the Tigers will be to eliminate the Emperor's Children leadership structure with victory points awarded accordingly. But they're not likely to all be in one place, so the Tigers need to be able to weed them out of the firing positions and hiding places across the table. Now, a successful ritual by the Slaanesh Daemon can provide them with demonic reinforcements, more objective points. Any Tigers that are killed and have their DNA retrieved by the traitors will add more victory points to the traitors. And any that can be captured will perhaps be worth double if they're still alive. The Tigers will be searching for Forge World inhabitants who have not yet been turned to Slaanesh and are willing to join the fight, inspired by the brave example of the Marines. And there are plenty more possibilities for objectives that I'll need to list out and put onto the roster before we start the game. Overall, we think a robust approach to objectives and victory points, all tied to our overarching narrative, is key to the success of this game. There's still a lot to do. You can see the studio has been turned into its own version of a Forge world for the next couple of weeks while we prepare for the live stream. If you've got any suggestions or questions for our game, please add them to the comments. Please like and subscribe to stay up to date with our next few updates, where we will showcase the forces we will be using for the battle in a bit more detail, and the terrain itself as well, as we'll set it up and complete the new elements. Thanks very much for watching this video, and I'm looking forward to showing you some future updates soon.